cruise lines will nickel and dime you to death. And it feels like a total ripoff, right? Well, what was once touted as an all-exclusive experience, well, it isn't anymore. Now you got to pay for all of these extras: Wi-Fi, specialty dining, bottles of water, donuts, and of course alcohol. But what if I told you that this nickel and diming is actually what I think, now here's my unpopular cruise opinion, is that nickel and diming is the best thing for cruisers and cruising. So, all right, stay with me, because I'm going to tell you and explain why I think this pricing model is better for almost everyone, and also explain to you what to do if not. So, well, welcome everyone that is watching. I am going live for this. I'm going to share a few things about this, and then I'm going to say hi and answer a few questions in a little bit. But what I want to really first talk about is just kind of this whole concept of nickeling, diming, where it comes from, and what it is. So, I mean, really just think about it. Everyone kind of feels like you're getting squeezed for all the money that we have to pay for cruising. And I totally get it. Like, well, I'll say this. A lot of people think that I don't pay anything for my cruises. I pay actually probably more than a lot of people, because I don't get the good casino offers. I really just pay what everyone else pays. So I pay my own way for all my cruises, and I get there the same way everyone else does. And I pay the same thing. So those bottles of water, I pay for it. Specialty dining, I pay for it. Spa, I paid for it. So I get it. Like, we all get squeezed for money, and our dollar doesn't go as far today right now. Right, so we're getting all these requests for money. Oh, I pay for the Wi-Fi package, right? All these things. I paid for the donuts when they first came out. I paid for the wings. So a lot of people feel, and I've heard this from different friends and stuff, and saying, and just people online, they say, oh my gosh, we hate being nickel and dime. You know, why keep asking us for all this money? Now, here's my thought with that. Especially Carnival, but cruise lines in general, they will give you a lower upfront cost, and then tack on extras. And really, here's what I think, is that I think it's a feature, not a bug. And if you really think about it, it's kind of this a la carte model where you pay for what you want. And the biggest thing that I think about this is that it's a lower barrier to entry. Yes, there's a lot in terms of marketing of, oh, like cruise lines market this low fare. Yes. Well, for me, especially when I started cruising when I had less money, it was amazing, because I could go on a vacation for less than it would cost me per day of even just getting a hotel. And I also got food, I got entertainment, I got all of these amazing things included with that. So for me, it's like that lower barrier to entry actually made it amazing to get started on cruising. Now, the other thing that way that I like to think about that is that it's a customization, right? So yes, in theory, it sounds nice to say, oh, like they should include all this. But if you think about this, cruise lines aren't going to just tack on a bunch of stuff for free as much as we want to. Like, let's just be realistic. This is the world. Like, companies exist to make money. They exist to make a profit, and this is how you do it. I'm not going to talk about how much profit they make, but really it's just, okay, like if everyone gave away free Wi-Fi, they would go out of business real quick. Just look at Spirit Airlines, the lowest cost airline, whatever. It wasn't sustainable. So yeah, you can say, oh, customers shouldn't do this, or companies shouldn't do this or this, but really the companies who can stick around don't give away everything for free. Sure, you can give away a little bit for free, but if you don't, that's what happens. Now, a lot of these low-cost airlines are kind of doing the whole nickel and diming thing. Like, and that was a big joke with a lot of things like Spirit, Frontier, stuff like that, was like, oh my gosh, like I want a seat. I've got to pay for it. Otherwise, you got to stand up, right? It's like a little joke, but which I think Carnival isn't going to that extreme. Like they are charging for what most other cruise lines charge for. And stick with me to the end because I will talk about, a couple cruise lines who don't do the whole nickel and diming thing. But first, what I'll explain is that I really think, and here's my unpopular cruise opinion, is that nickel and diming, this method actually makes cruising better for everyone. Well, I won't say everyone, but for a lot of people. And here's why, is because all of these things that you think should be included for free, well, again, they can't be included for free. They need to be included for a cost. So when you start adding on all these things, I guarantee you that the thing that you want to be included, someone else doesn't care about them. I buy Wi-Fi every time. There's a lot of people who don't want Wi-Fi because they want to unplug. I get specialty dining a lot. Not all everyone wants specialty dining. I buy bottles of water for my cabin. Not everyone wants that. Other people will always get the spa package. I don't always get that. Some people want free or not included alcohol. I really don't drink too much. So anything that you think that you want, great. You might want it, but I guarantee you someone else doesn't want it and doesn't want to pay for it. So do you really want to pay for something that you're not going to use or don't want? That's really the whole thing of it. Is I really think that nickel and diming is just a bad word for a la carte. You pay for what you want. And that's really the thing. That's what keeps cruising at a lower cost. And I will talk about kind of like the true all-inclusive. There's maybe one company left, and they're actually moving away from that. And that's really because of all these things, is the fact that, this is just kind of how commerce industry, how businesses work, is that things don't just come for free out of nowhere. All right, so this is kind of my little rant. Let me just take a moment before I continue and talk about if you really, really, truly do want that all-exclusive, where you can go. But let me just stop, say hi to everyone, answer some questions, and we'll come right back. Okay, so Johnny. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. Hello. We've got Steven. Hello. Hi, Steven. Kathleen. Hello. DeMarcus. DeMarcus said folks like to complain. I definitely do think that's true. The way I like to think about this is that, or the positive spin on this is that I think there are a lot of very creative people who can come up with anything to complain about. So yes, I love that, DeMarcus. Carl, hello. How you doing? DeMarcus says, look at it like this. Imagine going to a carnival and staying there for a week. That would be super expensive. Folks who complain don't understand business. Just take advantage of all the free stuff. Yes, I love that you said that. I think it's Alex Hermosi who said, pay full price from your friends, get free SHIT, get free stuff from people you don't know. So yeah, if you want to get free stuff, by all means try to do that, but also understand that businesses are businesses, especially Carnival. The whole thing with Carnival Rewards and that whole system, if you think about it, really what Carnival is doing, yes, you can make arguments. Yes, as a customer, I can say it sucks, but I understand as a business decision what they're doing. They're doing literally the same thing that airlines did in hotels with airline points and mileage and airline lounges. So yeah, I love that. Thank you, DeMarcus. Chad, hello, how you doing? Katani mates, hello, hi. Trevor, hello, thank you. Trevor said some great points. Thank you so much. Tiffany, hello. Tiffany. And then let me keep saying hi to everyone, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. Sharon said, hello from Central California. You're going on your cruise next week. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Let me know which cruise line you're going to and what you are looking forward to most. Jeff, hello, Jeff. Oh my gosh. Okay. One, I am so excited to see you on the Cali Country Cruise. Just straight, I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to meet you. Thank you for what you are doing. Again, oh my gosh, you are going above and beyond. You definitely don't need to do any of that, but I appreciate you. I'm so excited to meet you. Sophie asked, where am I? That is a good question. Let me actually show you around a little bit. I am in a hotel room in Chicago. So I came up here, I came to Illinois to do a workshop for AbbVie. So I am here. I just did the workshop earlier today. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get back to the hotel in time to do my live for everyone? Because I said I would start doing lives every Thursday. So I came back. So I am in Chicago. Oh, you know what? Let me show you outside because it's really nice. So I've got a waterfront view. I don't know if you can see that with the glare. But that's the river, you know, like that they at Chicago where they do the little green thing for St. Patrick's Day. I got to walk on it earlier. It is beautiful. It's so fun being here. I had an amazing workshop that I did. And then I'm here getting to hang out with all of you. It's a great question. John, hello. How are you doing? Okay. Carl said in the same vein, people shouldn't hate on people who buy faster than fun. Totally agree. Well, here's my thought in general is that, and I kind of laugh every time I see the comments, or people say this, there is something for everyone. And for everything that you think is ridiculous, dumb, overpriced, whatever, there's someone else who thinks this is amazing. So I love what you're saying there, Carl. There's a lot of people who can't imagine cruising without faster than fun. There's a lot of people who think it's a ripoff. I think you do you. There are a lot of things that people like, they don't like, all these things. And I think that's one of the amazing things about cruising, and particularly Carnival, is that there's something for almost everyone to love. So yeah, I love that perspective. Thank you. Sharon said, going in the Carnival Radiance. Can't wait to turn off my work phone. Oh, I love that, Sharon. You are going to love the Radiance. Have an amazing time. Yeah. Jeff, hello. Jim, hello. How are you doing? Tina, hello. Johnny said, oh, and then David. Okay, hold on. Let me come back. David, hello. How's it going? Still loving my shirts. Thank you, David. Okay, Johnny says, I look at it this way. If you spend a week in Las Vegas, by the time you got meals, see a couple shows, paid for everything you got free on a cruise, you'd pay a lot more. Yes, very true. And that's really the thing. And actually, I think about it this way is, and let me go into this, is the whole nickel and diming thing is, again, it's less expensive, just flat out. By doing it an a la carte way, you pay less money for the things that you don't need. I will say, if there is a cruise line that you do want to, hey, I want everything included, go try out Virgin. They've got a lot. I think even like tips are included. Although I hear that they are rolling that back. They are not including that anymore. I'm not sure, but there are cruise lines like that are a little bit more quote unquote all inclusive. So that's kind of my little rant. I am curious from all of you what you think about nickel and diming. So the other side of that coin is, you know, I'll put it this way. So even here at the hotel, I'm staying in a pretty nice bougie hotel. I got room service this morning, and it was freaking expensive. So I got like basically eggs, some sausage, and some whatever potatoes. It was $40. Now it said $20 when I was going through the little online checkout thing, and then it tacked on all these crazy like surcharges, fees, and blah blah. It basically doubled the price. I thought it was like, oh my gosh, $20 doesn't look too much. When I hit checkout, it was $40. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So that's one other thing, is even when you go to the expensive places, you still kind of get nickel and dimed. Now, I will say that is maybe a little extensive, and there are versions of that. It's like a spectrum. There are some things that I think are not so much nickel and diming, but really just kind of like or more like gouging or hidden fees. Whereas I think something like what I have heard a lot of people complain about on Carnival or other lines is, oh, they charge me for donuts. Why should they charge for that? Okay, well, this is my argument about the nickel and diming, things like that. Not necessarily like the hotel that charged me double basically to do room service. But these things that people say, oh, they're nickel and diming, This is more what I'm talking about is someone saying, oh my gosh, like tips should be included, or, well, sorry, let me backtrack on that. That's a whole separate conversation. Let me not open that can of worms. Let me talk about some of the other things that I hear. It's like, oh, specialty dining, that should be included, or the donut should be included, wings should be included, things like that. That's kind of what I'm talking about for nickel and diming. But I am curious for all of you, and this is one of the things that I love is hearing the different perspectives about different things. I will say that yes, oftentimes it is very nice when you're like, hey, I've got the money, I don't need to worry about it, I just want to pay a fee, I don't care if it's more, I don't want to feel nickel and dime. I completely get that, and I totally get that argument, and I think it's totally valid. But what I would say to that is that if that's the case, Carnival Cruise Line is probably not your cruise line. Totally fine. For me, I love Carnival for certain reasons. If you don't want to feel that, oh, I feel nickel and dimed, you know, there are other lines like I think Virgin, probably like the very, very high end ones. So like Regents, blah, blah, you know, those things like that. But okay. Let me answer a few more comments and kind of talk to a few more. Jacob said, hi, I am going on the Frenzy for Thanksgiving. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Vicky RNAZ, hello, how are you doing? Edgar, how are you doing? Edgar said, thanks for all the great tips. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for watching, Edgar. Jennifer, hello. Jennifer said, hi, we keep missing each other. I have thoughts on the family harbor room. I just got off the Panorama Sunday. Oh, okay, amazing. Yeah, bummer that we keep missing each other. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts about Family Harbor. That is something, if you look, let me see if I can pull it up because I'm streaming from my computer right now. Let me show all of you. Here's my schedule, which is kind of crazy. This is my video plan and all of the videos that I have that I'm working on. So this is at least one video a week, at least one long video a week. And I have videos planned out through February 15th of next year. So that's like how big my calendar is, how far I've planned ahead in advance. And let me see, where is Family Harbor here? Oh, okay, Family Harbor. Is Family Harbor worth it on the Panorama? That's February 18th. That's how far ahead I have to plan some of these videos. So if you guys are really excited or want to hear about a certain video, let me know so I can kind of shuffle stuff around. But yeah, just showing you some of that. Oh, I also want to show you something else is, so another video that I'm working on, I thought this was kind of cool. I'm working on two actually. So Noble, you guys are the first to ever hear this. Noble actually sent me this luggage to review. So this was a trip that I'm using it. I'm trying it out. So that's actually a sponsored video. They sent that to me. I'm making this video for them. This is a non-sponsored video, but here's the backpack that I use. They actually sent this for me for free. It's not a sponsored video, but I'm working on a video. I'm going to explain how you can get one of those backpacks for free. And just kind of a spoiler alert, I got it because of a lifetime warranty. So it's not like a scam of, oh, hey, like join this pyramid scam and you can get a backpack. But some of the other things I'm working on that I wanted to show you. Let's see. Carl said, I don't mind paying for sodas, but I wish they were included. And I totally get that. I think that's one of the things that I know for me, I'll say, I don't drink sodas, so I would hate having to pay for someone else's sodas. If any of you have ever done a deep dive into, let me see if I have, where is it? Where did I put it? I've got all this stuff that I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Okay, well, I don't have it. If any of you have those rewards cards, like an American Express Platinum, you've got your Carnival rewards card, any of those things, other people are paying for our credit card rewards. Another fun fact, if you don't have a credit card that does rewards, you are paying for all of ours. So thank you for that. So this is the thing that I'm talking about with the whole like all-inclusive thing, is that the people who don't know what's going on, they're the people who get screwed. For us, because we are getting nickel and dimed, we're the ones who don't get screwed out of it. So, okay. Angela, hello. Angie, hello. Jeanette said, hi, Ruben. Me and my daughter are going in September. I love all the great videos and advice that you're given. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Hopefully we will get to cruise together. I will be on the Frenzy in September. Matt said, we'll be on a cruise on your birthday in August. Oh, that's so much fun. Hopefully you're on the Panorama. I am on the Panorama almost the entire month of August. So hopefully I see you then. Trout White Tiffany said, I did the Thanksgiving cruise last year. We had more kids under 12 than adults, made for quiet bars and casinos. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. That is one of the cool things about the SEA cruises that will be on the Frenzy. Sailings exclusively for adults is that there won't be any kids. And they will be expanding the casinos. So let me know if you are booked on that. So I'm booked on at least one SEA cruise. I might book one in November as well. Hey, Joshua, how's it going? Joshua said, currently at work and my allergies are killing me, so probably won't be very active, but I'm here. All right. Well, if it's okay, let me know if I can pray for you. So in the name of Jesus, I command these allergies to leave Joshua in the name of Jesus. All right, John, thank you for all the wonderful information on cruises. You are so welcome. I appreciate that. Bo, hey, Bo, good to see you. It was good seeing you in person. It's good seeing you on here. And Tara, hello, how are you doing? Angie said, I was disappointed in the Family Harbor. I really thought we would get all 3 meals in that area, not just breakfast. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's not actually really meals. I'll just talk about this for other people. There is breakfast, and then you get, it's kind of like basically the other 2 are snacks. It's like you get like a little snack, afternoon snack, and then you get and then you get kind of like dessert. So yeah, that's a bummer to hear about that. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, so that would be a reason for me to make a video about this, is so that other people don't go in with misinformation or things that you are looking forward to that they won't have. Because I think if you go in and you know exactly what you're going for or going in for, then you might not be disappointed. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Angie. Isabel, so in the main dining room restaurant for breakfast, do I need a reservation? Yes and no. Here's the thing. Anytime you go to the main dining restaurant for almost everything, and that includes breakfast or dinner, you need to be in the system. And sorry, this is for your time dining, not for set time dining. So for the breakfast or your time dining, when you go there and you want to eat breakfast or dinner, it doesn't apply to tea time. You will need to be in the system. The way you get in the system is using the Hub app, and you make a reservation for your party. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this. If you want, you can go up there, and the restaurant host can make you a reservation. But literally, they are doing the exact same thing that you're going to do on the Hub app. You just have to wait longer because you have to go all the way down there to get put in line. So, do you technically need a reservation? No. Is it better and easier? Yes. Terry said, keep us posted on the events for the October SEA cruise with John. I need to start planning early. Yes, I am excited about that. I think right now, as long as you are on the Facebook group, you will see everything that I see about that. Yeah, and I'm really excited for all of those things. Jennifer said, I have the Radiance plan September 3rd through 8th, October 25th through 29th, and December 20th through the 26th. Amazing. So Jennifer, I will see you on the Radiance October 25th to 29th, because I just booked that a few days ago. So I will see you then. Angela said, October in the Mardi Gras. That sounds like a ton of fun. Carl said, you said failing. I'm going to guess you said cruising on the Panorama from November 7th to the 15th. That sounds like a lot of fun. Rick said we are going to be on Carnival Cruise in about 10 days or so on the Carnival Radiance out of Long Beach. I appreciate your help and insight on the parking situation at the port. I hear it can be a nightmare. Thank you for all your help. You are so welcome. Yeah, if you have any other questions, definitely put it in the comments. Let me know. Michelle said you are in the Radiance in 16 days. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. John said, I'm doing Panorama in September. Also, oh, that's amazing. David, you are on the panorama 3 times in September. Oh my gosh, why are you going in September? I will be on the panorama 3 times in August. So we are just missing each other. Joshua said, always okay. Thanks, man. You are so welcome. So we thank you, Josh. Let me know. Again, so we are commanding allergies to leave. Joshua, in the name of Jesus. Jeanette said, I am so proud that you heard my message and read out loud. I'm going on the Western. Is that a good chip? I'm guessing that's a typo. I'm not sure what chip you were talking about, but yeah, you are so welcome. Suez said, we are heading back on the panorama January 30th. Oh, that sounds like a ton of fun. Travel. Oh, Tiffany just said you booked the SAA cruise for October and got a Terraza. That's amazing. So Tiffany, I hope you got the 7-day and we can see each other again. Isabel said, I know my dinner time, but breakfast I'm not sure of. Okay, yeah, so breakfast you do need to, I mean, like I said, reservations are easier. John, you were going 4th through the 8th. That's amazing. Angie said, amen. We're dealing with effects of Canada wildfires here in Ohio. Oh, okay. I am sorry to hear that. Deborah said, I am booked on the Radiance in August. My first cruise coming out of Long Beach. Oh, that's so much fun. Okay. So Deborah, let us know, what are you looking forward to most on the Radiance? That's amazing. Melissa asks, what is my favorite Carnival cruise ship that I've been on? My favorite is the Panorama. And close second is the Frenzy. Dave said, I'm finally doing my first ever drink package. I did the ultimate. How does the gratuities work with that? Do they total you go or at the end? Great question. Okay, so when you purchase the drink package, when you buy it, it automatically includes gratuities for all of the drinks within your limit. So you get up to 15 drinks in a 24-hour period. All of the gratuities, I'll say it this way, and it's not labeled gratuity, it's labeled a service fee. And that is 20%. So all of the 20% service fees are included in your drink package. So basically, once you purchase a drink package, you don't need to quote unquote tip again because it's already included. Of course, if you want to tip above and beyond, you definitely are welcome to, but gratuities or the service fee is already included in that. Great question. Michelle replied to Deborah, what days are you going? Angela said, question, why do they have handicap excursions? I'm going to read this as if it weren't a typo. Why do they have handicap excursions? It's because there are people who are handicapped who want to go on excursions. So I'm reading that, or I'm answering it as you wrote it. If you meant something else, please let me know. Isabel said, thank you. You are welcome, Isabel. Deborah said August 23rd through the 29th. Oh, okay, sorry. Angela, and thank you for correcting me. So I was right. I read that wrong. Angela asked, why do they not have handicap excursions? They do. So not all of them, but I know that they do have certain excursions that are ADA accessible for handicap. If they have it all the time, I'm not sure. Or for everything, I don't know. But I do know that some excursions that they do have handicap or ADA accessibility, and then some they don't. I don't exactly know which ones they do have it or don't have it for. And some of that might also, yeah. So there's that. Angie asked, I am taking my son August 7th, then doing the tournament in November. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you're going on the $1 million tournament. Jennifer, so looking forward to meeting you. Yes, I'm excited to meet you too when we are on the Radiance. Melissa said August on Carnival Jubilee. Ooh, that sounds a lot of fun. Deborah asked, who is the cruise director for the Radiance? Right now it is, oh, why do I blank on his name? He's brand new. I do not remember his name. And yeah, if I remember, I will let you know. Someone did ask and I posted it somewhere and I posted my picture with him, but right now I'm blanking on his name. I think it's Ivan. Yes, I think it's Ivan. But I don't know how long he's on there for. Alan Swan said, hi, Poon. Hi, Alan. Hi, Swan. How you doing? Okay, Carl, you meant sailing. Yep. Joshua said it's technically not a reservation. You are correct. You click the I'm ready to eat and you get added to the queue for a table when you inform when your table is ready. I don't think you can pick a specific. Yes, that is correct. It's not technically, well, maybe it's not a reservation. It's like a save your spot in line kind of thing. It's like put me in line for getting a table. Thank you for the clarification. David said you are on the Frenzy August 17th. Oh man, I'm on the Panorama. Kimberly said my next cruise is on the Frenzy August 14th for a 3-day. Oh my gosh, that is so much fun. Have the best time. James said Saturday heading on the Panorama. I love that. Enjoy the ship. Travel by Tiffany said, I did the 7-day. We will have to, yay. Okay, I'm excited. We will see each other. We will have to meet up and I will see you in October, if not sooner. Jeanette said the Carnival, it's called the Western out of Galveston, going to Cozumel and Progresso. Are you sure it's called the Western? Because I know the names of, I think, or at least I should say, I thought I knew the names of every Carnival ship, and I do not know any Carnival ship that's named the Western. So if someone else knows anything about the Western, let us know. Tara asks, what makes the Panorama my favorite? I like, it's a big ship. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of room for activities. Really the reason that I like it is all of the food options. So it's got Gigi's, Cucina, Fahrenheit, Chef's Table. It's got the most food options out of Long Beach. I just really like the ship. Kimberly said, I love the Panorama. Yay. Deborah said, I'm not a big drinker. I was thinking about getting bar cash. Is that a wise choice? You might have to explain what that is. To me, is if you're paying money for bar cash, just bring your money and pay for a drink. But if you get like a deal on bar cash, that could work. But for me, it's kind of like the whole paying money to get cruise cash doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, just spend your money, don't go through that. So unless like you get like a cool, like a great like percentage off, to me, I don't see why you would do that. But I definitely could be wrong about what that means for bar cash. So correct me if I'm wrong about that, especially David. I know you know a lot, David. Let me know. We'll be on the August 1st through the 9th cruise. Oh, that's awesome. If I am assuming correctly, August 1st to the 9th is an 8-day cruise. And if you are out of Long Beach, you will be on the Panorama. And I would be on the same one because I am on August 1st through the 9th on the Panorama. So hopefully we are. If we are, come say hi. Angela Reed said, that's right. I'm not sure what that's writing to you, but yes. Yes and amen. Sharon said, leaving July 23rd on the Radiance. First cruise for my husband, third for me. Going, oh yeah, I remember you said that. So excited for you. Let me know how that goes. Matthew, hope to meet you. Yeah, I am hoping to meet you too. Travel by Tiffany said, there are handicap excursions. Your TA or PVP can help point you in the right direction. Make sure they also fill out the handicap accessible paperwork. Yes, there are things, there are paper or online forms that you can fill out before you go on that tell Carnival your specific situations and things that you can request. So yeah, and fun fact, Travel by Tiffany is a travel agent and she can help you with all these things. So that's why she knows. GLP said Frenzy's coming to Cape Canaveral and we're doing a 14-day journey cruise. Oh my gosh, yeah, so it's the Frenzy's doing 3 repositioning cruises. I really wish I was on that. That sounds amazing. Nancy said, hello from Michigan. With the Canadian wildfire smoke in our air, it is horrible. Pray for Canada. Yes. All right. So God, we thank you for these fires, the wildfires in Canada, to be put out in the name of Jesus. I think I'm getting that because I'm in Chicago. So I think we are getting some of that too because it's crazy outside. Rick said Sharon will be on the Radiance for the same date with my family. How cool. Okay, thank you. Tiffany said the Western isn't a ship, it's an itinerary. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I do not know what the Western itinerary is, so Tiffany, let us know what that is. But thank you so much. Trey says, I'm going on the Frenzy in September. I heard you were going as well. What dates? I am going September, I think 11th through the 18th. I'm going on two, so two back-to-backs, a 4 and a 3-day. So I think it's the 11th through the 18th. Erica said, our first cruise sailing on Panorama, July 26th, August 1st. Love your videos. Oh, that's awesome. And bummer, we will just miss each other. I am getting on the Panorama August 1st when you are getting off. But I hope you have an amazing cruise and amazing first sailing. Trey says, mine is September 14th to the 18th. Yes, so I am almost positive if you are on the Frenzy, I will be there on that. John said, hi, Ruben, what are your thoughts on sailing out of California this fall and winter in terms of Super El Nino? Do you think it'll be especially rough seas through the Mexican Riviera? You're the man. For Super El Nino, I don't know exactly how bad it will be. I do know in the past there have been some pretty rough seas. In terms of how bad it will be, I think that's like we'll just kind of have to find and see. One thing I will say is understand that Carnival doesn't control the weather, and they will very likely redirect or swap ports if it is bad enough. So with that said, just be flexible with that, and then also get travel insurance. But otherwise, I'm not really sure. I don't know enough to be able to speculate on that. Great question, though. Deborah Bush said, I hope to meet you, Sharon. I will be on that cruise on the 23rd in the readings. I love when other people in this group meet each other. Carl said, I was offered an upgrade from an inside cabin to a balcony on the Panorama for $640, and I paid $1,170 for the 8-day. I didn't take it. I felt that was kind of much for an upgrade. Your thoughts? I feel like that's not exactly a great deal. That's probably about where pricing lands. $1,170 to me is a pretty good deal for an 8-day. For an interior cabin. I feel like that's a pretty good price. You tack on the $640, and that's overall, it's not a bad price for an 8-day. But like you said, like that does kind of skew the math in terms of like the ratio. I think really just kind of depends on if that is something that's worth it for you. For some people, they only cruise balconies. They're like, oh my gosh, I totally would have done that. I think that's kind of the thing with a lot of pricing. It really is subjective and determinate based on you, your wallet, and your budget. But I would say I don't think it's like a super deal. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy deal, you need to take it. On Panorama doing Fahrenheit 505 on the first day, do you know if they give you a free bottle of wine? Yes, they do. You will get either a free bottle of wine for every 2 people. Sometimes you'll just get 2 glasses, but yes, you will get your free bottle of wine. Or sorry, free wine. Angie said, yes, you are getting bad there. Okay, yeah, so I think we are getting, I'm in Chicago right now. We are getting some of the ramifications from the Canadian wildfires. Bar cash, exactly the same thing as cruise cash. Whatever amount you put on it, you have to use it all, non-refundable. It's called, yeah. So for me, I personally don't see a reason to do Carnival Cruise bar cash. It's like, well, if I was going to pay for it, just pay for what I'm going to use, because like David said, it's non-refundable. So you have to use it all up anyway. So you are more likely to spend more because you're going to get whatever you did, versus if you just pay with cash or a credit card, you pay the same anyway, and you're not locked into it. So cruise cash, cruise bar cash, I don't see the point of it ever. Ruben, where did you get your wood magnets? I have one of your old school ones. Oh, great question. I get all of my, and let me see if I have them. Oh, and I didn't put my name tag on. There's my lanyard. Let me actually put my name tag on. Thank you for reminding me. Here's my ship name tag. I get these from K&L Creations. His name is Kevin Moran. K&L Creations, they are on Facebook. Highly recommend them. They are amazing. That's where I get my ships from. Matt said, when will I be on the Panorama? Matt, if you look on my profile on Facebook, I've got it linked, or not linked, I've got it saved on my profile. It's the first thing that shows up, and I list all of my sailings. I'm on basically almost every sailing in August, I will be on the Panorama. Tiffany said, Western, depending on cruise length and ship, includes ports like Roatan, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Progreso. Cool. Alan asks, have I ever done a Christmas cruise? How different is a Carnival Christmas cruise from normal? So yes, I have done a Christmas cruise, or sorry, not over Christmas Day, but I've done a cruise in December when they had all the Christmas stuff. It is different. I will say it's kind of like a holiday cruise, right? So they've got the holiday decorations. They've got a special meal on Christmas. They have Santa. You get the little Christmas hats. They do caroling. What I will say is, of all of the different holidays that I've been on and heard about, I think I'll say it this way, cruising in December, you get that Christmas experience. And I think it's probably the best way to get an amazing holiday experience, because it's not just over the day. So for example, when I did July 4th, we only did stuff on July 4th. Yeah, there were a few other things, but it was also America's 250th birthday. Easter, same thing. But Christmas, aside from the special menu, they do Christmas stuff the whole month of December. And I think it's pretty cool. Deborah asked, what's the difference between travel insurance and cruise protection? Don't they do the same thing? That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure what cruise protection is, but I think that's basically just what you're getting with travel insurance, is protection against something that will happen for you not getting on your cruise. And I think that's the essence of what travel insurance is. So travel insurance is kind of two main parts, and I'm working on a video that will be coming out soon. Travel insurance, or I'll say cruise travel insurance, they're kind of what I feel are two main components. To me, the biggest component and the thing that's most important is the medical insurance coverage, because there are just things that, because you're on a ship, you're far away, that things are expensive. And a lot of medical insurance doesn't cover. So especially like if you get life evacuation, things like that, that gets crazy expensive. It can get into six figures. So having the protection against that, I think is very, very important. Now, to a lesser degree, mostly just because of the amount of money involved, is protection against things that could happen on your cruise or not making your cruise. I think this is something that I see a lot of people making a mistake of, is thinking, oh, like, and I'll say it this way. I see a lot of people, quote unquote, complaining, oh, and you could say, people say this about Carnival, but literally every cruise line does the same thing, is insert blank disaster happen, the cruise line, Carnival, blah, blah, whoever, should give me my money back. Yeah, that would be great. But again, this is a business. It's written very clearly that there are no refunds. And there's no exceptions. It's not like, oh my gosh, like, yes, it's horrible. Someone died. Yes. But if you kind of think about it, it's not their fault. It's not Carnival's fault that you blah, blah, whatever. Like, you can cry about anything, but it's really, okay, like, and if they had to make one exception, they'd have to make a lot. So it's not them being heartless, it's them running a business. And if any of you have ever run your own business, you would understand this. Now, what I would say is that it's an easy solution: buy travel insurance. But you need specific insurance about cancellation. And the one that I recommend is cancel for any reason, because there are a lot of limitations about what you can get your money back if you just get cancellation, not cancel for any reason. Not enough time for me to dive into it. This is something that I did a lot of research on, and I am making a video explaining everything and talking about that. But great question. Melissa, hello. How are you doing? Lisa, hello. T-Bird asks, have I done a Hawaii sailing? No, I have not. So that is something that is on my list and I totally want to do. Melissa said, totally late, but better late than never. I am so glad you're here. Joe asked, what do we need to do to get John Hill on your live and or his 3 minutes? I have no clue. I'm sure John Hill has absolutely no clue who I am. Probably doesn't care. So I have no clue how we would make that happen. And I'm open to ideas or suggestions. Carl said that price is for people. Oh, okay. That changes that. That might actually be worth it for 3 people just for the interior to the balcony to get some more space. But again, that's a very personal thing where it might make sense for you, it might not. If you're splitting that price among 3 people, ask them, maybe it's worth it to do that. Tracy said, is parking in Long Beach at the terminal really a big problem? We are boarding on Monday and we are stressed that we will have to park off-site. Our arrival time is 10 a.m. I personally have done it so much that it's not a big deal for me anymore. If it's your first time, it might feel like a big ordeal. What I think of it this way is just, if you just plan and know that, hey, here's an extra thing, you need to spend an extra 45 minutes parking off-site, then for me, it's just having that expectation and going in, knowing what you're going to do isn't that bad. Let me know. I can always, or you can search on my YouTube. I've got the link of me explaining everything about the Long Beach port terminal and then the offsite parking. But essentially what you're going to do is, if your arrival time is 10 a.m., I recommend getting there about 9. You get there, drop off your bags, drop off your people. You're going to drive to offsite parking, park your car there, pay, take the shuttle back, and then you get on the ship. You'll be on way in time. It'll be totally fine. To me, it's not a big deal, and it's not something to be too stressful about if you know what you're getting into and what to expect. But if you have any more questions, definitely feel free to ask. Melissa said, Kevin does amazing work for magnets, whiteboards, and tags. Yes, I love all this stuff. I get them all the time. I know Tiffany has also bought stuff from him too. Jennifer said, I asked my husband and daughter for Carnival gift cards for the holidays or my birthday. I love that. Rick said, we are also worried and heading out of there on the 28th. Ruben has a great video to help with parking section. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's the video I was talking about if you are curious about that. Joe said, I spent Christmas on the Radiant Solo and it was great being around the Radiant family. Yeah, I mean, just being on the ship, I love. David said, cruise protection only covers the cost of your cruise, medical evacuation insurance is okay. Yep. So that's that. But I don't know if there's any, I think it's very rare that you get just quote unquote cruise protection. Usually it's wrapped up in the bigger umbrella of kind of travel insurance. But yeah, as David breaks down, medical evacuation insurance is what the very important part is, because you are looking at potential 6 figures. Cruise protection only covers you for at most part of your cruise. There are some cases where you get the cruise fare, but for the most part, it just covers you in part for the cost of your cruise, which is, let's say, a few $1,000s, maybe $10,000 if you're super bougie and you get like an Uber suite somewhere. But if you're looking at evacuation, medical evacuation, you can be easily looking at 6 figures. Angie said, if you buy travel insurance, you do not need to buy Carnival cruise protection. Yes. Although I will say this is that Carnival cruise protection is, when I was looking into it, it is pretty nice in terms of what it does and how it does. But at least in terms of like kind of cancellation, some things that you do need to know about is that the Carnival cruise protection, it'll give you 100%, but it's not a reimbursement. It is future cruise credit. A lot of people don't see that in the fine print. But that is one thing, is it's, and there are kind of a lot of fine prints about that, but that is something to be aware of. The one thing about buying Carnival travel insurance, which Carnival does offer, is that you pay a lot more as a premium. Your limits and what the limits it covers is a lot less. So basically you're paying more money for less. That's why I never recommend getting the Carnival insurance. Christina said, going in November for Thanksgiving on the Radiant, I'm nervous. It will be my 5-year-old's first cruise. What recommendation do you have? I think it really depends on what you are nervous about in him. So let me know. I can put a comment, reply back to you with my kind of like everything you need to know about the Radiant. So at least you can know everything about the Radiance. You can have your 5-year-old watch it with you. You can know what to expect. I think that's really the biggest thing, and just knowing what to expect when you get into a cruise, and then that way for their first time. Otherwise, I think you need to be a little bit more specific and ask me what you might be potentially worried about, and I can give you some answers about that. Tiffany said, not the same. Cruise protection only covers a cruise portion with lower medical. If you travel more than once a year, an annual insurance plan is better. Feel free to DM me. Yep. So I love that, Tiffany. You go into that. When I was doing research, the research for my video, so I've done all the research already. What I found is that for most people in the age range that most people are watching, which is in the 50s, 60s, is that the break even is about 3 cruises. So if you do less than 3 cruises a year, it's usually less expensive to buy per cruise. If you do 3 cruises or more, it's definitely less expensive to get an annual insurance plan. One thing that I did find that I thought was very interesting is the insurance company that I use is way less for an annual plan than Alliance. I know a lot of people use the Alliance annual plan. I use Battleface. Battleface has pretty similar levels of protection, but is way less money. So if you guys are curious about that, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, because I am working on that video with basically everything that you need to know about travel insurance. But okay, so I have been talking all day, and I've been talking on this live stream. I need to rest my voice. I can really feel it. But I did want to come on. So thank you for all of you to join me. Thank you for being here with me. I love and appreciate all of you. So thanks for being here. And I will be back next week, Thursday, to go live again. I'm trying to remember what I'm going to talk about, but let's see. Oh, I'm going to be talking about the new menus. So next week, I'm going to be talking about the new MDR menus. Remember, tomorrow is my video that comes out on nickel and diming. All my things about that, my kind of official video. So if you can, please watch that. And it has been so great seeing all of you. Have an amazing Thursday night. Rest of your Thursday night. Have an amazing Friday and this weekend. It has been so great hanging out with you. And thank you so much, everyone. So